Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm, oh wait, hold on, 1 second.
Sorry about that, you know, coronavirus and all that, oh well. Should be safe here. Okay, all funny business aside, today I'll be showing you how to kill Zulrah. But before we get started, remember to go follow me over on Twitch, where I hang out and stream video games. Link in the description below. Let's get started, shall we? In order to access Zulrah, you must have completed the Regicide quest, which has several other quests also in its line before it, so go ahead and complete those now if you haven't already. Now let's talk about how to get to Zulrah. There are several good options, but the quickest way is to use a Zulander teleport scroll, which you can buy off the Grand Exchange. They are a little expensive, but if you can get at least 1 kill a trip, you should pay it off. The other options are either taking the charter ship to Port Tyrus and walking, or using the ferry ring to the west with the code BJS. This requires 76 agility though to hop over some stepping stones. We're not going to go into extreme detail on what gear and stats we need to kill Zulrah. Just know that the better your range and magic levels and gear are, the faster you will be able to kill the boss. All you really need is 40 prayer for protect from range and magic, but obviously a higher prayer level will be helpful for prayers like rigor and augury, as well as helping your prayer to last longer. The goal of this guide is to get you comfortable killing Zulrah, not to teach you how to set an all-time record for kill speed. As a matter of fact, all the following gear setups could be used successfully. Sometimes I even switch it up a little bit just for fun, and there's even this one time when I went in and oh what the heck, sorry about that, I don't know where that came from. Anywho, like I was saying, it's not that big of a deal on what gear you choose. Just bring some good magic and ranged gear that you can swap back and forth, because you'll be using ranged and magic throughout the fight. You'll probably want at least a 3-way swap, like a necklace, body, and legs, such as going from Dragonhide set with a Necklace of Anguish to Aram's with an Occult necklace. You can get away with using a rune crossbow or a magic shortbow, but I recommend a blowpipe if you can afford it. It does a lot of damage and has an awesome special attack that heals you for half of what you hit. Moving on, similarly for magic, you can get away with using regular spells on Zulrah, but my preferred method is using the Trident of Seas or Swamp if you can get your hands on one. You're also going to need to stockpile Rings of Recoil or a Ring of Suffering. You can charge the Ring of Suffering with noted Rings of Recoil, then make sure the effect is enabled by right-clicking the ring before you start the fight. This is to help take care of the snakelings that Zulrah spawns during the fight. They have 1 hit point, so the recoil effect will kill them instantly when they hit you. If you don't have a Ring of Suffering, I recommend bringing at least 2 full Rings of Recoils with you, and maybe even unequipping them until the snakelings spawn. One optional item you might like to bring is a Serpentine Helm. This helm prevents you from being venomed, and buffs your defense at the cost of some range and magic bonus. If you don't use a Serpentine Helm, you will need to bring an Anti-Venom Plus potion with you to the fight. Okay, by this point, you should have a good idea of what kind of gear and weapons you're going to be using for the fight, so let's start talking about the details of what we need to know. Before boarding the boat to Zulrah's shrine for the first time, you need to talk to the High Priestess Zulhar Sinka. If you die at Zulrah, you can collect whatever items you lost from Zal Gwenwi... that name. Beware though, if you die again while she's holding onto your items, they will be permanently lost. Okay, we're finally ready to take a look at the boss fight, how the mechanics work, and how we're going to kill Zulrah. If you've looked into Zulrah before, you might know about the rotation guides, such as the one shown here. These are fine resources, but it's sloppy to look at the whole thing while you're trying to learn Zulrah. That's why we're going to use an interactive rotation guide that's found online instead, to make things much more organized. The trick is to narrow the window and put it right next to your game, so you can click on it and refer to it as you kill Zulrah. You may notice that I'm using the Edge browser, and that's because the Chrome browser I usually use limits how narrow you can make a window, whereas the Edge browser does not, allowing me to only use the part of the website I need. The website we're using will be listed in the description. Or you can simply Google Zulrah Rotation Guide and it should be on the first page of results. This guide is helpful because it tells us exactly where Zulrah is going to be during the fight, what form he'll be in, and where we should stand accordingly. For example, if you look at this current phase, Zulrah is in the middle, he's in his red melee phase, and we should stand right here to the left as we attack him. And speaking of phases, Zulrah has 3, well, technically 4 phases that his color corresponds to. Green is his range phase, blue his magic, and red is his melee phase. He also has one final phase called Jad Phase that we'll cover in a moment. Pray range when Zulrah is green, and use magic against him. Pray magic when Zulrah is blue and use range against him. Praying melee when Zulrah is red will not protect you. You'll be stunned and he will get a second hit on you as well, which can be devastating. Instead, wait for him to take aim, then move 3 tiles away. These highlighted tiles I have on the left and right sides of the island are perfect to move between during the melee phase. You'll notice I also have some tiles highlighted by the pillars, and these are safe spots. If you stand anywhere along that row of tiles, Zulrah can't hit you with his melee attack. Keep in mind that during Zulrah's mage phase, he will send out random range attacks as well. There's nothing you can do to predict or prevent these, so just continue praying mage against him and be prepared to eat some food when you see one coming your way. I like to bring several Karambwans with me for tick eating just in case he stacks several of these surprise attacks against me in a short time. Zulrah also has 2 special attacks that we want to look out for. The first of which is called Venom Clouds, where he spits out venom and creates a deadly fog around the island. Walking through these clouds will start to inflict rapid damage to you, so make sure you stand where the X is on the rotation guide to stay out of danger. His next special attack is Snakelings, where he spits out white balls that spawn Snakelings to attack you. Like we mentioned earlier, these critters only have 1 hit point, so once they deal damage to you, your Ring of Recoil will kill them in 1 shot. Each of these guys spawn using either magic or melee. To conserve supplies, you can try to kill them as Zulrah dives into the swamp, but don't spend too much time on them when Zulrah is back out. Direct your attention back to him. And finally, we have the Jad Phase. This only happens as the second to last phase of each rotation, and is denoted by a green and blue circle. During Jad Phase, Zulrah switches back and forth between magic and range attacks, starting with the first color of the circle. Switch your prayers back and forth between Protect Magic and Protect Range, making sure you have the proper prayer activated before Zulrah's attack animation begins. Once you've gotten comfy with killing the boss, as long as you have good gear and high range and magic levels, it's likely that you'll actually finish the kill most of the time before you get to the Jad Phase. If you don't finish the kill by the end of your first rotation, things may start to get weird. After the final phase happens in your rotation, Zulrah will go back to the middle in his green phase, and will begin attacking you with range. Then afterward, will spit venom clouds across the island. Now, Zulrah will start a new rotation, but things will start to get messed up. He comes back up in his mage form, so I click on the mage rotation. Everything goes fine for a few phases, but when he is supposed to come up in the middle as his melee form, he instead is in his mage form. Basically, the rotations start to get out of whack after the first rotation ends, so time is an important factor. However, don't worry too much, because once you get comfortable with kills, you should be able to kill Zulrah no matter what before his rotation ends. Okay, by this point we've covered basically everything we need to know to start killing Zulrah. I'm going to run us through an example kill now, so you can see what it looks like and what my inventory is. Mage gear? Check. Range swap? Check.
Recoil anti-venom plus prayer pots, Karambwan's food, and telly out?
Mega check. Let's do it. Zulrah always starts off in the center in his range phase. Make your way to the bottom left and start attacking him when the camera changes. You can turn your prayer off when Zulrah is doing his special attack. Be ready for his next phase and click on the appropriate rotation. Here it's magic, so I pray mage and start ranging him. Once I notice I'm venomed, I take a sip of my anti-venom plus. When I see Zulrah sending some range attacks my way, I try to heal up with my blowpipe spec, but I miss a shot and I have to eat some food instead. When I position myself on these marked tiles, I'm safe from the venom clouds and can keep maging Zulrah. I make my way to the safe spot on the left side of the island and continue maging Zulrah. I leave my Protect from Magic on here so that I'm not hit by the magic snakelings attacking me. And just like that, the money snake goes down. Well guys, that's my guide on how to kill Zulrah. I hope you enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time making this video, more than any other video so far, and I put a lot of work into it. I know that there's a lot of people that want to kill Zulrah, so hopefully it helps a lot of people out. And yeah, if you like my videos, then subscribe to my channel, where I'll be making more Runescape and gaming related videos and cool content in the future. Thanks for watching everyone. have a good one, and see you next time.